Q, let's get into it, man.
Absolutely, yeah. So I wanted to jump into a topic about the idea of acting your wage, and
He said, "I'm gonna put these motherfuckers in check."
well,
No pun intended.
It depends on how you look at it. So, for instance, like I remember my man had a conversation years ago, and he was like, "Yeah, Q, like I always say I'm poor, like I'm poor, and I feel like
strike that from the record. We rebuke all poor energy. My man is not poor. He just in a financial transition right now.
Anymore. I was once poor, absolutely, and I feel like there's nothing wrong with accepting that because in the day. Numbers are numbers, like numbers mean things. So I feel the issue with a lot of people though is people don't realize or accept that they are poor and act out of their wage, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with, again, like if you make whatever the money is, whatever, and you have issues or struggling, whatever it may be, whatever, but you out here living lavish or doing certain things that's not in your ballpark, and you're constantly going these certain circles of struggling, whatever, it don't really make sense. I've seen people that, say they want to do things, but then whenever it's time to prepare to do it or save the stack or do this, whatever, you can't do it because you're constantly acting out of your wage, whatever.
Yeah.
If you make, let's say it's $100,000. You make $100,000, but you got millionaire aspirations or plans or ideas, whatever, but you're not doing what it takes to get to that number. You're gonna stay at that number, or whatever. So you're acting out of your wage. Because don't be doing millionaire shit, but you make $100,000.
No, 100%.
And I think people always get bogged down, like, well, why are you coming up here to make 30, 20, 40 grand? But like, no, it's niggas that make $1 million a year be living check to check because you doing shit billionaires do. Whatever the fuck it is. So I think the idea of acting out your wage is important for everybody to really, be in alignment. How much do you make? How much can you afford? Where are you trying to get to? Whatever. If you totally fine what you're doing, that's fine. But if you want to make more, if you trying, I'm trying to move. I'm trying to get a new car. I'm trying to get a new wardrobe. I'm trying to get my girl a ring or get my kids into a better school. You need to stop doing things that's prohibiting you from doing these new things, whatever.
And everything you just said, I agree with, except the first statement, the term poor.
Okay.
And I would say and adjust it to saying broke, because poor is a spirit to me.
Okay.
As I feel like rich is a spirit. So it's like poor is no work ethic, no grind, no hustle. It's a mindset, right? Whereas the broke just might mean you don't have the funds. So I don't even want to tell somebody that they broke or tell somebody to tell themselves that they broke. I would just say that don't have the finance available. And the reason I say that, right, because like I said, your whole philosophy is spot on. I agree, which I tend to do with a lot of things you say because it makes all the sense in the world. But I'm real big on the power of the tongue, and I feel like that's why I strike it from the record. Like, no, he ain't poor, because I wouldn't even want you to claim that energy. And I'm not trying to be on. No, fuck that. I am. This is one of those situations where I'm being like one of the self-help people of like, nah, because that is why people are staying down. Not staying down by choice of, making conscious decisions to be frugal. These people are down in ruts because they're referring to themselves as broke, as poor, and lacking money. So I don't even want to say refer to yourself as broke. Just say that I don't have the finances available, or that the finances haven't made their way to me. So you are living in a way that's above the means in which you have available. So it's a better way to say what you're saying, because I don't want the message to get lost in translation of the term. And it's like, I truly would never say that. Even if I have zero, I'm still not poor, because I feel like I'm $1 million nigga. The money is not in my account, it's in my hustle. And it's like, it'll be in my account as a result of my hustle, as a result of my mindset and my ambition. So if anybody out there that may be struggling, listen to what he's saying in regard to you literally not acting your wage. You're not, because at the end of the day, if you make $5K a month, right, that's $60K a year, and your expenses is $4K a month, you only have $1,000 disposable income. A lot of people like to talk about what they make in salary, but they don't want to talk about how much they bring home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what you make and what you bring home is two different conversations.
It's about what you make, about what you keep.
And somebody can make $5K but have expenses that might be $2K, and they bring home $3K after every month that they can save, invest, travel. And yours, you might have $10K, but your overhead is $8K, so you're living a better life, but over time they will eventually have more than you, because that $2K might not accumulate as much as that $3K can. It depending on if y'all did the same exact thing with your money, they would eventually have more than you, even though you would appear to have more than them approaching it. So, and I'm somebody who has went and spent as it came in, right? Just been like, oh yeah, I make this amount, I get this. Not really understanding like, yo, you know what? Yeah, now I really, even with my business, when I talked about last episode, restructuring my business, it's like, nah, paying myself a salary and managing my salary, paying my company a salary, and then having a company emergency fund, savings fund, investment fund to be able to do things that I couldn't do when I was just like, all right, well, overhead is $1,200 at the business, $3,800 go to me. Like, now it's like, all right, overhead 12, savings getting 15. What's left is whatever. I'm taking that. And that's just, these are numbers I'm just, ballparking. But like Q said, and I'm referencing it because I totally agree. And I've spoken on this type of topic before where it's like, yo, you can't say you want something, but you do the opposite. Your behavior has to match what you say you want. You say you want to lose weight, but you're not doing anything that would indicate someone who wants to lose weight. Getting financially fit is just like getting fit in the gym. You have to literally shave off the excess fat, which is the subscriptions that you really don't need, the unnecessary eating out, the going out and accepting every invitation. Now you have to be conscious of where you're trying to go. You said about the last episode that as a businessman, I have the ability to see that. That's how it starts with that. Where am I trying to get to? And now that I know where I'm trying to get to, you can reverse engineer the process. Meaning I'm going to go all the way back to step one. Okay, if I'm trying to get here, what is the things required to get me there from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? And once I get to 1, I just got to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have to cut out the things that don't fit you until you get where you want to get. But most people don't even have a desire to instant gratification. So I read in the book, Atomic Habits, right? He was saying that people really don't choose delayed gratification. And it might have not even been in Atomic Habits, or I might have been both, but I also watch a podcast and I felt like he talked about the same thing. Not the same guy, but two different people. But basically the concept was people will drink liquor because the reward is immediate, but the consequences is delayed. So you don't see what a shot of liquor can do to you after one day. You don't realize that until you're in your 50s and you got something wrong with your liver. So people would say, all right, you know what? I'm going to drink because I feel good today. And in reverse, people don't go to the gym and get immediate results. So they rather not go to the gym because they don't feel like it's worth the initial time investment, even though over time you'll get the results. So sometimes cutting back on your lifestyle, right, is not fun. Like when I went on my 90-day fast, no liquor, no smoking, no hookah, no sex, no masturbation, no partying, no clubbing, no nothing, right? 90 days, none of that, none of the sort. It's not fun. It's fucking boring. It's like I had to literally for the first week had to fucking create a new routine. Like, what do I do with my time? This is because I had came to a realization. I had a revelation where it was like, yo, you're saying you want to be this guy by the time you're 30 and you're 29 and you're not doing nothing to get yourself to that. So it was like, okay, I had to audit what I was doing and make cuts. And in doing so, it was like weird. It was like, damn, like, what you mean I can't hang out with my friends at this bar, this hookah lounge? Even if I'm not drinking and smoking, I can't even be in this environment. Now I'm texting girls at the time I'm not in a relationship, and yo, it seems like they throwing pussy at me. Like, you want to test me. Like, straight up and down, straight. And it's like, these are women that I never even had sex with. So, of course, it's more tempting. Like, oh, you trying to drop the pussy in my lap now because you know I'm on this fast or whatever the case may be. And for me, all it did was build my discipline and make me realize, like, all right, cool. What I got from that was I was able to get myself in a better predicament with my living situation. I created a relationship with my father, which I hadn't had prior, but I had the mental clarity to see what was the gap that needed to be bridged and take the steps to do so. I was able to take care of some things on the other side of my personal life that was able to put me in a better position to where though all of that, I even met my girlfriend kind of during that time frame, and we didn't really interact because I was on a fast. But I'm just saying all of that prepared me to get in detox away from all of the toxins of dealing with multiple women and drinking and smoking. Now I'm a social drinker. I still have a little, drink here and there.
Not really.
But yeah, whatever. Q just an alcoholic, not to, you are. Fuck it, it is what it is. AAA, whatever. Have an AA meeting for my boy.
Alleged alcoholic.
Alleged alcoholic, for sure. Super alleged alcoholic. But, Q likes his liquor. The cheap shit. Getting all the way back into it. My boy drinking that Jamal Quavo. But getting back into it is like, I had to detox. So in doing so, it made me realize I wasn't acting my wage, right? It's like, yo, I'm fucking up. Like, I'm literally making money. I don't even got no over here right now. I'm living at my mom's because I had just came back up this end and I had to go back to the home base. I'm at my mom's. I'm clubbing. I'm fucking bitches. I'm in Miami, Houston, Atlanta. I'm traveling. I'm buying jewelry. What are you doing, dickhead? Like, you doing everything that you saying you don't want to. You doing the opposite of what you're saying you want. And and it's because you don't have the 5, 6, 7K over here right now. You think that these thousands you're making is just free money. No, dickhead. If you don't stop doing what you're doing, you're going to end up in the same predicament next year. This is how I had to talk to myself. Oh, and I wrote my book during that. The idea for the book was formulated, and I actually wrote the book after that. But the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't have the mental clarity to do so if I'm out here chasing pussy. So it's like you really got to get dead honest with yourself and be like, yo, you know what? I really want to be a millionaire. I can't keep living like one. I can't keep acting like I got more than I got. I'm making $120 a year, but my overhead is $8K a month. It's like you're not going nowhere fast. So act your age, be okay with it, accept it, you know what I mean, and make the changes.
Yeah. And also I suggest everybody, I recommend a show on Netflix called, I believe it's called How to Be Rich. And it's a good title because, it's catching whatever, but really what it's about is how to not be poor. Back to your work. But because, it'll be very easy to find people that make 35 grand or 20 grand, whatever you want to call it, whatever, then say, well, you want to be rich, then do this. It's like, nigga, I make 25 grand. Nigga, this is hard for me to try to stack for stocks.
Yeah.
Nigga, what the fuck we talking about? But no, they was finding people that make 100, 200, all this fucking money, but still living check to check. And it was a great case. So they're saying, again, it's not about the money. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you keep, whatever.
Yeah.
Very first episode, a woman made, she was like a fucking VP of the fucking president. I mean, of some type of company, software company, making all this bread. And they was broke. Credit card debt was crazy and shit like that. And they had to really, all these couples, because most part, all the people in the show was couples, they had to go through like relationship therapy to figure out how do people look at finances differently. How do, the man not working, the woman not working? Are we cool with it? What are our plans? What do we want to do? If we want to do this, why are we doing this right now?
Right.
And it was very interesting seeing these different relationships and people have to reprogram themselves to just stop doing simple shit. They were saying shit like, and again, this is simple but also common. They were saying, yo, people were really saying, I don't know where my money be going because so many subscriptions and credit cards and shit is in debt and violations and shit that's in balances you got to pay off that you don't realize that all your money you make is getting ate or whatever. So you have nothing left over. So everything that shows a good thing just to get your mind thinking about that. And then whatever it is after that, course correct, get together and say, well, whether you want to make from 25 to 50 or 50 to 100 or 100 to a million, do what you got to do to get to that.
Give them the framework.
Yeah, for sure.
So to your point, though, you said something that I thought was key. You said people that were like, oh, I make 25, 35, like how I'm supposed to save and stack. I think that acting your wage to using your philosophy is also within that framework of figuring out, like, okay, at 30K, I can't save 5K because this is a large part of my income, but I might could save $150.
Sure.
So it's like, it's ways to act your wage, even in being frugal, which still is about having a framework. The framework will get you anything you want. Literally putting a standard operating procedure in place will literally step by step your entire life. How you act with 1,000 is how you will act with 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, and a million, which is why we see so many people get a lot of money and go back broke because they didn't course correct the mindset. They didn't add the framework to be able to not be who they was when they had the bad habits. So when you say you see people had so much of a challenge trying to eliminate simple shit, is because it became second nature to them. Like how we talked about when you work for so long and you're in a position for so long, now you just doing it without even thinking. So many people, like literally, I just had to talk to my girl. I said, listen, you know what I mean? We got to understand our income flow. And I feel like it's times where, like, because now she works again, right? So it's like now she gets paid bi-weekly. I make money every day, essentially. But at the same time, I still have a sales cycle, especially with me being in this new business model. That's about to look different. It's going to be a larger amount, but it's not going to be day to day. But I still got my day. I got too many incomes. No such thing. I got a lot of income. So I got ways to make money. But the chunks might come in moderation or sporadically. But I feel like every time, if she get paid at the same time I get a chunk, we out here drawn. And it's like, yo, we can't do that. We got to prepare for the times where the weeks you don't get paid, and when I'm just living off the $200-300 that I might make off a couple LLCs or whatever the case may be, and we still got a husky amount of stuff to take care of, and now we sitting here like, damn, we living check to check, but we make well into six figures. Like, you feeling me? And by the time, man, I'm turning this shit up tenfold, so like I already know where I'm going. But as of now, looking back, I was probably one of them guys that you're talking about where it's like, yo, I make a lot of fucking money, but I've spent a lot of fucking money. So it's like, it'd be kind of hard to explain. So I did start, I got a blue budget book. I write down so you ain't peep right before I was like, before we got on, I was like, how much did I just spend? And I wrote it and I texted to myself. So I literally track every penny.
Me too.
So every single month, but I was never that guy. Every month, I know exactly how many dollars I made, how much dollars I spent, down to the point where you can send me a Cash App and it could, like, even like with our overhead, it's not my money, but I'm gonna put it in the income and I'm gonna still put it in the expense because it still came through my account. So I don't want it to be like, well, where the fuck this money come from and where it go? Nah, Q sent me this and it went here. I do down to the